There comes a time when silence becomes the loudest scream, when your calmness shakes the very ground that tried to break you. In a world where everyone is reacting, there is unmatched power in restraint, because not everything deserves your energy, especially pain. Let's talk about why you should never react when someone hurts you. When someone hurts you, the immediate urge is to react, maybe with anger, maybe with tears, maybe with words that cut back just as deep. But in that moment, when you react, you give away something far more valuable than your pride. You give away your power. Emotional control is not just about looking calm on the outside. It's about mastering the storm inside. It's about choosing not to allow someone else's actions to dictate your state of mind. Because the moment you let someone push you to react, they gain control over you. They've pulled you into their emotional arena, and now you're playing their game. That's not strength. That's a surrender. Power lies in restraint. Power lies in being able to feel everything, hurt, anger, betrayal, and still choose not to act out of it. It's knowing that your peace of mind is more important than proving a point. When you don't react, you're not suppressing your emotions, you're mastering them. You're telling yourself, I decide how I feel, I decide how I respond, not them. That is power, true power. It's easy to explode, it's easy to shout back, but those who do are often ruled by their emotions. And emotions, as intense as they are temporary. What's not temporary is the damage done in a moment of weakness. Words once spoken can't be taken back. Actions made in anger leave scars that don't heal easily. And most of all, when you react without thinking, you often end up regretting it later. But when you pause, when you choose silence, when you let the wave of emotion pass without drowning in it, that's when you know you've grown. People who master their emotions don't do so because they're cold. They do it because they've been through enough to know that reacting doesn't always fix things. It often makes them worse. So they stay quiet. They observe. They process. And they respond, if needed, when the time is right. And from a place of clarity, not chaos. In the end, emotional control isn't about pretending you don't feel pain. It's about recognizing that pain doesn't deserve to control you, that no one, no matter how deep the wound, gets to determine how you live the next minute, the next day, or the rest of your life. When you can feel deeply and still stand calmly, you've unlocked a level of power most people never reach. That's not just strength, that's self-respect. There's a certain type of person who doesn't just want to hurt you. They want to see that they've hurt you. It's not enough for them to cause pain. They crave the reaction. The look on your face, the tremble in your voice, the way your energy shifts when their words land. That reaction, that's their reward. Because the more visibly you react, the more control you hand over. You're feeding the very behavior that's trying to break you. Some people hurt others not out of anger, but out of a desperate need to feel powerful. They poke, they provoke, and then they watch. They wait to see if their words hit hard enough to shake you, and the moment you explode, cry, argue, or plead, they win. Not because they are right, but because they succeeded in dragging you into their world of emotional instability. Your reaction becomes their fuel. But what happens when you don't give them that reaction? What happens when you stay calm, centered, and unbothered? Something powerful shifts. Suddenly, they're disarmed. They expected fire, and you gave them stillness. They wanted chaos, and you gave them peace. That silence, it unsettles them more than any scream ever could. Refusing to react doesn't mean you didn't feel the sting. It means you chose not to let it define you. It means you are aware enough to know that most people who try to hurt you are dealing with pain themselves. They're projecting. And your emotional outburst only validates their need for control. But when you withhold that emotional energy, you break the cycle. You refuse to participate in their game, and slowly they realize they have no power over you. It's not easy to stay silent when you hurt. It takes strength, discipline, and deep self-awareness. But every time you do, you take back a piece of your power. You show yourself and the world that your emotions aren't for show. They aren't puppets on strings pulled by others. They belong to you. And here's the truth. People don't forget the ones they couldn't shake. The ones who didn't flinch. The ones who stayed silent, leveled up, and kept shining. Because nothing confuses a person who wants to hurt you more than your peace. Your calmness is your weapon. Your lack of reaction is your armor. And eventually, the people who once sought to disturb your soul will realize they never had access to it in the first place. Reacting in the heat of the moment feels natural. It's an impulse, almost automatic. Someone says something cruel and you want to snap back. Someone disrespects you and you feel the urge to put them in their place. But here's the truth. Reacting immediately is rarely wise. It's emotional, it's unfiltered, and often it leads to regret. That's because when you react instantly, you're not responding with your mind. You're responding with your wound. You're letting pain, ego, or anger take the wheel. And those emotions don't care about consequences. They care about relief. Temporary relief. But temporary relief can lead to permanent damage. The real strength lies in taking a step back, in breathing, in allowing yourself time to respond, not react. A response is thoughtful, it's measured, it's born from clarity, not chaos. It's what happens when you allow the first wave of emotion to pass without letting it drag you under. When you delay your reaction, you create space for wisdom. You allow yourself to think beyond the moment, beyond the insult, beyond the pain. That space, those few seconds or minutes or even hours of pause can change everything, because within that space you reclaim control. You're no longer a puppet pulled by strings of anger or hurt. You're grounded, you're aware, and you can choose what energy you want to give out. Sometimes that choice is silence. Sometimes it's walking away. Other times it might be addressing the situation, but on your terms. When your emotions have settled and your mind is clear, people often believe that reacting fast shows strength, that it means you're not to be messed with. But in truth, it often shows the opposite. It shows someone else was able to trigger you quickly, easily, and completely. There's nothing strong about being emotionally hijacked. What's strong is restraint. What's powerful is patience. What's impressive is the ability to sit with your feelings, process them, and then decide your next move with intention. Remember, time is your ally. What feels urgent in the moment often feels insignificant with a little distance. Delaying your response doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're in control. And in a world full of noise, chaos, and conflict, that control is priceless. Let the delay be your filter. Let it be the difference between reacting out of pain and responding out of wisdom. Because your response, when it comes from strength, will always be more powerful than any impulse ever could be. Pain is one of life's greatest teachers. It doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to shape you. And how you handle pain says far more about you than the pain itself. Anyone can be kind when things are easy. Anyone can smile when life feels good. But your true character, your true maturity, is revealed in the moments when you feel hurt, betrayed, or disrespected. In those moments, you are given a choice: to react or to rise. When someone hurts you, the pain is real. It stings, it lingers, it shakes your peace. But the pain is not what defines you. Your response to it does. If you lash out, if you crumble, if you let the hurt twist your behavior, then you're allowing that pain to own you. But if you stand tall, breathe through it, and move with dignity, then you're transforming pain into growth. That's maturity. It's the ability to feel deeply and still choose your actions consciously. Life will test you again and again through people. Some will misunderstand you, some will disrespect you, some will even go out of their way to hurt you. But those are not setbacks, they are mirrors. They reflect where you are in your personal evolution. If you react the same way you always have, anger, revenge, emotional outbursts, then the lesson remains unlearned. But when you start responding with calm, clarity, and silence, you know you've stepped into a new version of yourself. Maturity isn't about pretending pain doesn't affect you. It's about knowing that you don't have to act on every emotion that visits you. It's about creating space between the pain and your reaction. It's understanding that just because someone tries to bring chaos into your life doesn't mean you have to accept the invitation. Not every insult needs a comeback. Not every wound needs to be announced. Sometimes the strongest response is your stillness, your ability to carry yourself with grace while carrying invisible scars. When you master that level of control, you begin to live from a place of inner strength. You're no longer thrown off course by every emotional storm. You trust yourself more. You don't seek validation. And most importantly, you stop allowing pain to shape your identity. In the end, maturity is not measured by how you treat others when you're happy, but by how you treat yourself and others when you're hurting. Let pain be your teacher, not your master. Grow through it. Rise above it. And never let it turn you into something you are not. Every reaction you give away costs you something. It costs you energy, emotional, mental, even physical. And if you're not careful, you'll spend your entire day, your entire peace, reacting to people and situations that don't even deserve your attention. Not everyone who hurts you is worth your energy. Not every situation requires your emotional investment. One of the most powerful things you can learn in life is how to protect your energy like it's your most valuable currency. Because it is. Think about how drained you feel after an argument, how heavy your body becomes after replaying a painful conversation over and over in your head. That's not just emotional discomfort, it's your energy being depleted. And most of the time, it's not even the situation that causes the exhaustion. It's your reaction to it. The overthinking, the emotional replays, the internal battles. All of it consumes you. But when you learn to pause, to not react immediately, to hold your peace, you conserve your energy for what truly matters. Your growth, your goals, your well-being. People often throw negativity your way, not because of who you are, but because of who they are. They're chaotic inside, and they want to spread that chaos. When you react, you invite that chaos into your space. You open the door and say, "Come in, take a seat." But when you don't react, you protect your energy field. You maintain your center. And in doing so, you keep your focus sharp and your emotions intact. This isn't about being emotionless. It's about being selective. It's about knowing that your emotional bandwidth is limited and you can't afford to spend it on things that don't bring value to your life. Every time you choose not to react to negativity, you're not just walking away. You're preserving your emotional clarity. You're saying, "My peace is worth more than this moment of chaos." And the more you practice this, the more powerful you become. You begin to see that not everything deserves a response. Not every battle is worth fighting. You become emotionally lean, light, focused, intentional. You stop being a reactor and start being a creator of your mindset, your mood, and your future. In the end, your energy is sacred. Don't spend it proving points to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Don't waste it on noise. Conserve it, protect it, and channel it into your purpose. Because nothing is more expensive than letting someone else's actions drain the power you need to build the life you deserve. The most powerful response to pain isn't revenge. It isn't anger. It's growth. When someone hurts you, they expect you to fall apart. They expect you to react emotionally, to lose your focus, to prove that their words or actions had power over you. But when you take that pain and turn it into fuel for your progress, you shift the balance. You remove them from the center of the story and place yourself there instead. They become irrelevant not because the pain didn't matter, but because your healing, your evolution matters more. People who try to bring you down are often watching closely. They want to see if they still have access to your emotions. They look for signs that they've affected you. But when you choose to say nothing, to do nothing, and instead silently work on yourself, you take away their control. You redirect all that energy inward. And while they're busy trying to get your attention, you're busy building your future. Let your results speak. Let your peace be your power. Let your glow up be the loudest response. Because nothing unsettles someone more than watching the person they try to break become better, stronger, and more focused. That's the kind of response they can't argue with. You don't need to explain your silence. You don't need to justify your growth. Just keep moving, quietly, consistently, and confidently. There is something incredibly powerful about choosing not to match someone's low energy, about refusing to shrink yourself down to their level just to prove a point. Every time you level up in silence, you rewrite the narrative. You show yourself and the world that you don't need revenge. You don't need validation. You just need discipline and direction. It's not about pretending the pain didn't exist. It's about using that pain as a stepping stone, It's about telling yourself, yes, I was hurt, but look what I did with it. That's how you reclaim your story. That's how you shift from being a victim of someone's actions to being the author of your transformation. So the next time someone hurts you, don't react. Don't post about it. Don't argue back. Go quiet. Go inward. Focus on your goals. Focus on becoming unshakable. Let your success speak for itself. Because at the end of the day, nothing silences noise like progress. And no reaction is louder than becoming everything they said you couldn't be.